In our notes today, we are going to factor to reveal zeros. And zeros are where the function crosses an axis. And we have two options for that. It's either the x or y-axis. Our first step is to factor our quadratic. I know that 1 and 6 and 2 and 3 can give me 6, but because we want a negative 6, one of them has to be a negative number. If I choose 2 and 3, one of them has to be negative, and there's no way I'm going to get to 5. So instead I'm going to choose 1 and 6. Now if I want my 5 to be positive, I want to start at positive 6 and go backwards 1. So that means 6 will stay positive and 1 will become negative. From this row, column, I can factor an x. From this column, I can factor a 6. From this row, I can factor an x. And from this row, I can factor a negative 1. So my final factors are x plus 6 and x minus 1. We are now on step 2, where we're going to set each factor equal to 0. And I'm going to go ahead and do that right here. Step 3 says solve for the variables in each factor using inverse operations. This takes us back to 8th and 9th grade. To isolate x, I'm going to subtract 6 because subtraction is the opposite of addition. My 6's cancel out, leaving me with x equals negative 6. I add 1 because that is the opposite of minus 1. My 1's cancel out, and I am left with x equals 1. I am now going to graph the zeros of my function. So because it's x equals, I know that we're going to plot both of these numbers on the x-axis, which is our horizontal axis. Negative 6 is going to be 6 left of the origin. This is our origin, where coordinates are 0, 0. I'm going to go left 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that is my first point. So my 0 will be negative 6, comma 0, and this will be in coordinate form. And my other 0 is going to be at 1. So I go 1 to the right of the origin. And that means my coordinates will be 1, comma 0. So this means this is where our parabola is going to cross our x-axis. Now this isn't going to be an exact picture. I'm just going to show us a rough idea of what this will look like once we graph it. We are going to learn how to graph these more precisely, but for now we're going to get our calculator out and we're going to input both the function and our factors back in to the calculator. So our function is y equals x squared plus 5x minus 6. And we see that our graph matches the graph that we've shown. Because it crosses at negative 6 and positive 1. However, you'll notice that this graph goes much deeper. It's a lot more vertical than the graph that we've drawn. That's okay, because for now we're just going to be drawing a rough sketch.